Hello and welcome to another episode of our Schulering Hub podcast, Talking Hospitality. Schulering Hub is a professional platform connecting hospitality professionals through learning. If you like the show, share this podcast with your colleagues, join our LinkedIn group, and help us build a community to involve the industry. Today, we'll be hanging out with a hotelier passionate about hospitality who considers herself a lifelong learner, one of the finalists of the Hospitality Challenge by the World Tourism Organization, Carolina Peralta. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Mauricio. Thank you for inviting me to this chat. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
The pleasure's all ours. And Carolina, you have quite an interesting professional story. Our paths actually probably even crossed at some point in the beginning of this journey. What's your professional story with hospitality?
I've been in the industry of hospitality for almost 13 years now. I don't know if this is a few or a lot, but definitely gave me a good experience. So I started to work in the base positions as a waitress in coffee shops and restaurants when I did my exchange in Australia in 2009. And there I stayed for 3.5 years. I also studied tourism, diploma of tourism in Australia while I was there. And definitely that made me, you know, that made my passion, that created my passion for the hospitality industry. So in 2012, when I came back to Brazil, I started my undergrad in the hospitality management school, Castelli, in the south of Brazil. And after that, in 2012, between 2012 and 2014, I did some internships in hotels in the region of the of Gramado and Canela, the mountains in the south of Brazil. It's a very tourist area, so it gave me a lot of good understanding of the hotel business. And then I started my career in the hotel business as a receptionist in 2015. As I said, I started my career in the F&B industry, working restaurants and bars, and I love the F&B industry and that environment. So I said, I don't want to be in the reception, that's not my thing. So it's definitely important to be there and to understand that department. But I decided to go back to the F&B, but I started doing an MIT in the one of the biggest hotel chains in Brazil in that time, Brazil Hospitality Group. So I did an MIT of 1 year, went through all the departments in a hotel, and then I did a specific MIT in the food and beverage for half a year in Rio de Janeiro. And I did work for the Olympic Games over there too, which was another great experience and very crazy and a lot of work, but definitely a very good experience. Well, I started growing in the F&B, in the hotel business as a supervisor, and then F&B manager, coordinator, F&B manager, restaurant manager too. So I also moved from hotel to restaurant, family owned restaurants, which also gave me another, good experience, and start doing also consulting on my own for small business, like small cafes, small restaurants in Rio de Janeiro. And in 2020, right, when the COVID came and lockdown started happening in Brazil, which was a very unfortunate times for everyone. Uh, all the hotels most of the hotels in Rio de Janeiro where I were in worldwide actually, they shut down, so I didn't have a job at that time, but um I did have my experience. I did have a lot of time, and so I decided to come with a project very similar as yours now, that was going to start with a podcast with hoteliers in Brazil to start giving some contents about hospitality and F&B for the professionals. And during that lockdown, when I started this project, which is called Ritual da Hospitalidade in Brazil, uh, there was a hospitality challenge just launched from the UNWTO, and I thought maybe, you know, we could be one of the, selected. Why not? So I uniformed with my actual partner in my partner, business partner, Hamada. He's also a hotelier. He studied the undergrad in Brazil with me, and we share the same passion, which is F&B as well. And we created this idea of creating a course that you could go 360 degrees all around the F&B departments, and would be digital. But not only that, we also became with idea of a platform for for the hospitality industry to have this, not just our course, but other courses also, to qualify their teams and to be something more accessible for the industry. And was the project that we applied for, which we call it hospitality on learning. It's a lifelong learning path where you learn in in short time, small videos, and um, it includes a lot of other kinds of technology, such as AI, for example. And this was the idea, and happily, we were one of the finalists of this challenge worldwide. It was more than 600 applications, and we were one of the 30 selected projects. And as awards, I got it because it was only one scholarship we in one of the schools of summer education, full ride scholarship. So it's definitely a huge achievement. I was very, very happy to that, obviously. And I just recently actually graduated from that. So I graduated in the Masters of Hospitality Strategy and Digital Transformation at Le Roche, Crans Montana. And now, currently, I am still working with my company, Ritual da Hospitalidade, with our courses and our consultancies, and currently also working in a startup business for the hospitality industry called Think Cloud. And I'm very happy to be helping the industry and the hoteliers with now technology and new ideas for their business.
That's quite an amazing story. And when I say that, like we had our paths crossed, it's quite amazing that we have a very similar, actually, line of life. Yes, because we both were in Australia in 2009. I found out after that you actually lived in the same house I lived, just and I moved to Australia. Yeah, we have friends in common, and we both started like a project that are quite similar project in the same time. Yeah, like you started in 2020, I started like in 2020, and we never heard about each other until a few months ago, probably. And it's super interesting that what you could achieve, and we are like, as a Brazilian, I'm super proud of you. Yeah, getting out there and showing from coming from Australia and growing and studying and evolving, and then showing that in a world level and achieving like a master in the La Roche. Your name became quite a success in Brazilian media. I saw so many like news about you. So it makes me proud as a Brazilian having someone from my state as well that's reaching such a high standard. Saying thank you for sharing your story. And Ritual da Hospitalidade for Brazilians. Please write this name. If you're listening to it now, please write this name and get in touch with Carolina, learn a little bit of her story, and who knows, she may be the one to help you grow. Now, let's talk a little bit because you moved to technology, and I think that a lot of people during the pandemic end up doing the same, yeah, getting out from the hotels that were closed and joining technological and tech industries that serve the hospitality. Yep. And now we are going through a massive change in many areas. There is the technological rush because everything's moving really fast. The age of experience that is so told age of experience. The hoteliers should be thinking about the guest experience, not just providing bed and breakfast, and also the labor crisis. Yeah, you've been consulting and working closely with businesses in the hospitality. If you could point out one thing, what is the one thing missing today in hospitality? Sorry to interrupt. If you're enjoying the show and if you are learning something new today, please consider following the show, subscribe to our channel, or leave us a review. It helps us to help more people through the podcast, and it would mean the world to us. Thank you for listening, and we're back on the chat.
Wow. Today, what is missing in hospitality is people. And that's it's a hard reality, and it's true. According to the Association of Hotels in the US, they said that 97% of the hotels are reporting shortage. And after the COVID lockdowns and with hotels shutting down, travel is being not be possible. A lot of people that work in that industry actually move, as you said, to other areas, and now they don't want to go back to hospitality anymore. So today, what the hotels and the industry is really missing is people, and not just people, qualified people. And it's being very difficult for the hotels to to keep going with the same standards than before, um, with the teams that they don't have anymore, or with half of the teams they used to have before. And that's when now the technology is being very, very look for the hoteliers and the hospitality industry in general, because not just not saying that the technology is going to substitute the human. It's not that, but definitely you can automate tasks, you can automate procedures and things that the human could were doing before. But now there are machines, or there are softwares, there are solutions in today that can help them to to go through this time with less people working, for example. So yeah, this is definitely one of the things that technology is a must for the industry now, and a lot of new technologies coming to not is to help the humans with their work. That's what I believe. I don't believe that technology and robots will actually substitute the human beings, but in some cases it will. But it's a tool, to be used to help them to do their jobs better. We can give some examples. For example, in a reception today, the receptionist could actually talk with the guests and actually understand you know their needs, to talk with them, to understand who is that guest, to personalize their service, instead of wasting the time you know, doing a form and doing bureaucratic procedures. So today you can do a check-in online, and in some of hotels today, for example at Disney, you don't even need to go to the reception anymore. You can open your door with the app. You can do the check-in with the app, and you don't really need to interact with many people if this is the case. But yeah, I would say that today shortage in the industry is a big concern, because and ideas and projects like yours, like mine, are very welcome, to help the industry to rebound, and to requalify, to qualify the industry. Because without knowledge, people cannot do their jobs. They can do it, but it's going to be harder, and you have to teach them everything. And that's and that's a big problem. And most of the places that need, the departments that need this these staffs are the operation. So the operation of the businesses are going through a very tough time. They are coming back now. We see a very good times coming, thank God. But it's been 2 years without business almost. So the hotels is still coming back to breathe, and getting, the business back. So it's really hard at the moment to say like how this is going to go through, but it's a very positive. I'm very positive. I hope in a very short time we can, you know try to help the industry with it, and we can go back to the business.
That's that's yeah, you're completely right. I had a talk with Paula Carreirão, another Brazilian hospitality leader. And if you haven't listened to that show, please go back there, find our chat with Paula Carreirão. And we spoke about this a little bit, not a little bit, actually extended on that, how technology can help humans to be humans and actually do hospitality. Yeah, because there was that lack of humanization in hospitality for a while, became really mechanized, I would say. Like it's like machines working and just typing, doing the bureaucratic work, as you said, filling up forms, and that it doesn't add value to the guest, doing work that don't add value to the guest. And we had that talk on how hospitality, or sorry, how technology can help hospitality to become more humanized and not the other way around. It's not about substituting, just as you said. It's about adding value to the guest on the time that they are there. And I think that the labor crisis definitely will help to speed up that awareness of the technology help to the industry. And also uh, platforms like yours, like Schilling, it's all about understanding the new generation. Yeah, like there is a change of the way that this generation that's coming to the labor, they work, the way that they think that life should be. And we need to understand the way that they work, because we need them as much as they will need us. And we need to understand how that exchange will work. It will change. It's obvious now that that relationship will change. So those 12-hour shifts probably will go at some point. We will have to understand each other at how to make work between our generation and the new labor generation. But
Exactly. You're completely right. And um I have to say that it's happening in a positive way. In a few years ago, I wouldn't say that, technology would be that important for the hotels. I would say definitely, because I have this mindset, but hoteliers, a lot of them wouldn't, they still using manual tasks and old procedures, and uh, I see a positive change of mindset in the market. For example, in Brazil, with our projects, we've been talking with hoteliers, companies, um, and they are actually aware that, okay, we need train, and we need to do that in scale. We need to do that for our 100 hotels. Accor hotels, for example, they have the Accor Academy today. For a long time, they are probably pioneer in that. But yeah, that's the positive thing that I've been seeing the market this year. And hopefully this mindset will actually change faster.
it's a cultural change. So that was the time that hotels needed to evolve to the website when everything was done by phone, it took quite a while. I think that some today there are hotels that still don't have a website that's presentable to 2022. Yeah, it's still using websites from 2010 that is not even mobile friendly. So we know that the industry needs some time to absorb and get into it, but the labor crisis definitely will speed up that awareness of the technology and the search for it. And that's why we are trying to be here and help the hotelier to find solutions like yours, solutions like think like retail of the hospitality, like Ask Suite, Quick Packs, or any other technology providers that are there now. The market is full of them, but let's hook them. So from what's missing today, we've been talking about between today and the future. And like as we said 15 years ago, traveling required the help of travel agencies. Your experience would be a total surprise. We didn't really know what to expect when you get to a hotel until you leave. And the internet in our pockets changed everything, and people can check thousands and thousands of reviews before they book a hotel room. They can check what the people like them, their country think about that place. And even the biggest hotel in the world nowadays, the Airbnb, that's considered a hotel by many, doesn't even have a hotel room, yeah, and is considered the biggest hotel in the world. So everything is changed. That's technological revolution. There's the Web 3.0, the Web 4.0, and already been discussed. So how do you see the hotel industry in the next 10 to 15 years? So what's your vision of the future of hospitality, Carolina?
I see the hotel business, hospitality in general, right? Definitely working a lot with the technology, and they would not survive without it. That's the thing. And the industry 4.0, for example, as you mentioned, right? Virtual reality is one of the main things of in this revolution, and it's been a thing on the hotels as well. Uh, and Airbnb, for example, they actually now they're not a hotel. Definitely, I don't consider them a hotel because they don't provide the service that a hotel do. But if you are a good host, you can do very well as a hotel too. But they actually are changing the business, and they are going to the real estate development right now. They are owning places now, Airbnb as well. So yeah, they've been a quite of competitive competitor to the hoteliers for sure. And the mindset of the hoteliers are changing as well. And inspiration of Airbnb, for example, they are also changing their business model, not having reception sometimes anymore and checking in online, and very self-services, a lot of self-services in many of the hotels, especially the ones that they are economic to you know mid-scale hotels, which don't provide them many services. Obviously, if you go to a luxury industry, um, then you need, obviously services and special service. But yeah, I see a lot of things happening in the hospitality. Obviously, we studied that a lot in our masters. For example, we've done projects with facial recognitions for the in the hotel business, where you gonna probably in a few years gonna be scanning they're gonna be scanning your faces, and as soon as you arrive, they're gonna know all everything about you. They're gonna know not everything about you. It's not to scare people, it's about advancing the service, to get a better service, more personalized service in the hotels. For example, they if you are a guest that a guest that comes very frequently in the hotel or in the chain, they will know where you've been, what's your preferences, without the need of looking into a software, because you're gonna have your scan. All these things being already discussed, and this is part of the new revolutions, that's happening. Um, as we already discussed in the previous questions, I think that definitely the technology will be something to help the humans, to the staffs, but yet we're gonna have less people probably working in the operations of the hotels, because these people will be migrating to other departments, and definitely automations will be very more considered and will be applicable to the hotel business and so on. But I see a very bright future, definitely, because hospitality, it's a business that definitely is not gonna end. It's a travel business. Everyone loves to travel, and the travel business is also, evolving uh, together. And this is important too. And yeah, I see a lot of tech definitely uh, going on in the industry and helping the hotels, and people have to get used to it. It's scary sometimes, as I said. Imagine it's not to scare people like, oh my god, you're gonna scan my face and they're gonna know who I am, what I'm doing, and things like that in the hotel. Maybe, yeah, but definitely they would not do it without consenting. People have to be open for that too. But yeah, our hotels already testing that. Smart rooms, for example, Marriott, Hilton, they are already doing smart rooms where you go in, you you do everything automatically. You in your room, your air conditioner, your TV, everything. You don't need remote for anything else. You do everything on your app. Uh, so yeah, it's gonna be a very much different, and the hotels will have to be evolving together. It's going very fast, as you said. We are discussing 4.0, and soon will be 5.0, and so on. And that's it. I think that's a lot of technology going on in the business, but I see it as a good thing, definitely, because as I said, people are we are in a shortage, and it's not going to be easy to go back to what it was before, and I don't think it will. So uh, the hotels will need very very soon to start doing investing much more in technology than they are doing nowadays, for sure.
And it's better to start it early, isn't it? Start it
Yeah.
early, start testing what works and what doesn't work for a hotel, because not everything works for everyone. I do believe that hotels will start finding out about themselves a little bit more. And there's a chat we had with Juliana from the hospitality copywriting, and she said that she believes that some niche hotels will be growing up a little bit more, like some ideas of a very specific niche for each property. And yes, you're totally right. Technology, it's coming. It's part of us already. We can't imagine ourselves without a mobile phone nowadays. And 20 years ago, they were not there. So thinking 10, 15 years ahead is really difficult, because we really don't know what the technology will be in our hands, how we will connect with the world. But it's an exciting future. I'm totally with you that I agree 100%. We are humans. We like to explore. We like to travel. That won't finish. We just need to find how we're going to be welcoming people to our cities, and how we best serve them and understand their needs. That's the point of understanding technology, isn't it?
Yeah, and definitely one thing also that I believe and is already happening with well, COVID came and accelerate definitely the homework, now, the work from home, right? So a lot of people are working all online. They don't need to go to offices anymore, and this also it's gonna grow the business travels, and people that want to do more long stays, for example, in hotels. And that's why I said that a lot of hotels inspired by Airbnb, for example, are changing the business model. They are creating workspaces, collaborating workspaces in the hotels, where the digital nomads or people that work from home are there to to explore the place, and they are working at the same time. So all these things, it's going to change. The customers, the guests, is going to change also, and new destinies will be also created now. Places that today they are not very explored, for tourism, they will be uh, being starting to get explored more for sure, and that's a good thing too. That's very positive. So yeah, the customer is changing a lot. The customer wants a personalized service, and to do a personalized service, you need data, you need to know the person. You can't do that in a manual way. You can do if you are a small business, but when you go to a scale to do this kind of services, it's getting hard. So definitely technology will help to do that too. And but also people, they want the connection with the people. That doesn't change. There are hotels that are being created to to people. You're not gonna see anyone probably in your stay in the future. There will be hotels like this, but I believe that the people that want to go for holidays, for example, they want to stay in a place that they can talk to someone. This is not gonna change. No, you're gonna change in a different way, but not gonna end. Still people who still want uh to work in hotels, definitely. And but you're gonna see, I see a lot of things happening in the future. As I say, it's hard to say, but this is going very, very fast for sure.
That was an amazing chat. Please, how can people find you?
Well, they can find me on LinkedIn if they want, Carolina Peralta. They can also find me on my company's Instagram. Ritual da Hospitalidade is on Instagram, and the website is www.ritualdashospitalidade. It's in Portuguese, so hospitalidade, not hospitality.
I'll put
It's
all
just
of
I
it here.
put the link. Sure, cool. .com.br, and that's it. There we have all the informations that we provide. Our courses, where to buy it, where to connect with us, and that's how you can find me for sure.
Perfect, Carolina. Thank you very, very much for the chat. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope to have you in our community soon too.
Thank you very much for the chat, Mauricio. It was a pleasure to be here with you.
Schulering, thank you very much for listening. I talk to you soon. Bye.
See you. Bye bye.